Okay, hello everybody, people. Welcome to Star Trek Pathos series where we're playing the wonderful Star Trek Adventures created by Modiphius. And hello CangoFango, Roomsbath, Dodrebur, however you pronounce that. And other people as well who are watching this archived, hello. With me here I have some very special guests. Would you like to introduce yourselves from top to bottom, please, as usual?
Of course. I'm CangoFango, and I play Doviah Drenlich Twossock, the human communications officer on the USS Pathos.
I am Dodrebur, or Dodd, and I play Captain Shiun of the USS Pathos, who is a Vulcan.
I am Rogue. I play the pilot, and his name is Nero Jeff.
Yes.
The greatest pilot on board.
Yes, the greatest pilot on board, yes.
I still have bragging rights.
You do, but claiming that you're the greatest pilot on board doesn't necessarily mean much. If you said the greatest pilot in the fleet, now that would be something.
Are we part of a fleet?
Well, technically there is a fleet because you're part of Starfleet and they have fleets, but you're not operating in conjunction with the fleet.
So I can't say fleet yet.
Well, technically you can, but well. Hello, the infamous Trekker. You're right, you are infamous, apparently. Woot! Woot. Which is interesting because the
Yes,
way you say it, Woot, in German, means rage. Or anger.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's spelled slightly differently.
It's with a U instead of two
Unsurprising.
O's.
Yes. W-U-T. So technically triple
Well, yeah,
U-T.
if it was two O's, it would be pronounced differently.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Actually, if it's a W followed by U, do you say triple U? Anyway.
Get distracted.
That's fine. We've got 10 minutes left. Hey, hello. Starfleet.
That was past 2 hours.
Yes.
It was, isn't it?
Time flies. To his
Rage.
face.
I like it. Yes, woot. Okay, so
Yes.
last time on Star Trek Pathos, we had finished the shopping session. And
Yeah.
we got back to an actual, well, something that at least resembles a mission. Namely that, where's that name? Where is that name? There we go. Yes. So, on your way to Argelius 2, in previous episodes, it was mentioned that there was an attack by an unknown vessel. And that hadn't really come up until the start of this episode, where you got the new mission to help Chief Inspector Carbert and his assistant in getting to the bottom of this. You got some information and went straight on, to pursue the attackers. It was discovered that the attack started on an unmanned automatic freighter. The name of which I can totally tell you, which is RX-2384. This freighter, looking at its manifest, you didn't find anything special or particularly you didn't find anything that would warrant an attack like that, especially since if they had tried to steal the stuff, they probably would have just beamed it off as soon as the shields failed, but they didn't try that. The attacking ship followed the freighter to the repair station in orbit around Argelius 2, or Argelius 2, however you wish to pronounce that. And there was a bit of a battle there until some Federation ships managed to drive them off. You managed to find this vessel, or at least one that has a very, very similar warp signature, so it's probably this vessel, refueling near the corona of a star. No, Twitch, I'm not talking about something else that has corona in it. No, I'm talking about a star's corona. Yes, good. Just wanted to clarify that. Oh, YouTube as well. Yeah, the same goes for you. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. And the
viewers. Yes, it was refueling using its Bussard collectors. And you managed to gather a little bit of information using a probe that you shot close to it. Mainly that it has not had a chance to repair from the battle. Its atmosphere is not breathable by most species. And the life signs inside were more energy-based rather than possessing a physical solid body as most others do. Hello, Eliza Vigiaro. Topped up on fuel, I see. Where are we going? No. This is just a recap still. The other ship topped up on fuel. You can ask where it's going, but I won't be able to answer. Upon making yourselves known, the vessel approached, and being reasonably cautious, you try to stay outside of its close range. Further communications revealed that they want to talk, and want to beam over a, shall we say, an ambassador. I can't remember the exact word I used last time. It wasn't ambassador, but it was something to the same effect. Someone to speak on their behalf. And right, they also identified themselves as the Baschal. And yes, we left off just as this individual beamed over, and as the shields went down temporarily, they used this opportunity to get a quite detailed scan of the Pathos. Now, it is also worth noting that the Baschal ship is almost double the size of the Pathos, but their tech level is significantly lower than the Federation's. I think that is pretty much everything, unless I'm forgetting something.
I think that covers it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, I did send a message out to the outposts and the First Federation, asking them if they've seen stuff like this around.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's going to take a while to drive. Yes.
But it happened.
It did happen. The infamous tracker, Huffendorian transporter operator stares blankly out a window at the alien ship. This won't end well. Has total confidence in Captain's diplomatic skill.
It would be interesting if you wrote stares blankly out a window of the alien ship.
That would have been interesting. By the way, chat, please let me know if volumes are good. If anyone's too quiet, too loud, I can mess with the settings. Hopefully make things better. Okay. We start with 4 momentum, 147 probes, and 248 torpedoes. Good. Okay. Great. Just great. No, really, it is just great. Okay, so on the bridge, the last thing that was said was a message from the transport operator informing you. A spokesperson. Was that the word I used?
I have representative. written
Representative,
down.
of course, representative. Yes, representative works. I remember thinking about spokesperson, but choosing a different word. Yes, representative. Beaming the representative over. The representative has safely materialized in transporter room 2. And that is the last thing that happened.
Where we left off. Yes. Yes, okay.
Aside from establishing who's going to meet them.
Yes. Which I... Actually, do I have...
Captain Joseph Westaker, Doviah, and our resident red shirt, Ken Dalem.
Yes, that is
Alright.
correct. Right, I
Got
wanted to make a note of that, but then I closed the document at the end of the stream, and then I forgot because I closed the document.
Got you.
Yes. It's very useful to have players who make notes.
Yes.
If you're an honest GM. If you're a dishonest GM, then that's the bane of your existence during the time playing that session.
I can imagine.
Probably.
The spokes represauditioner. Yes.
Spokes representationer. Yeah.
If you want to put that in the new words and terms on my server, that's fine. Anyway, so the gang is on the way, and you take the turbo lift, walking along the corridors. The doors to transporter room 2 open, and there you can see on the transporter pad a transparent cylinder. It looks like a glass container filled with a little bit of a foggy atmosphere. And inside you can see this bright pulsating light, changing color and pattern of movement as it is in there. Hello, D1HNN. Diane? Ah yes, taking notes. We never do that. Also, hey folks. Hello everybody.
Yes, hello.
So,
We certainly don't have 23 pages of notes. Definitely not. No.
no. I mean, that was true last session, but now, of course, it's doubled. So, yes, you walk in. You can see the half Andorian at the controls of the transporter, staring at this alien being that you have transported onto your ship. Din, great.
Right.
So, who wants to speak up? Captain, or maybe communications?
Yes.
Who wants to speak up?
So is it... It's closed, right? The container is closed.
Yes, otherwise it wouldn't make much sense
Yeah.
to keep the atmosphere in there.
True. I start with a simple word. Hello.
Okay, response.
Welcome to the Pathos.
Okay. This is acceptable. Greetings from the Baschal.
Greetings from the Pathos.
Your ship's greetings are accepted.
This is gonna be
We're off to a great
fun.
start, aren't we?
Very. Oh God, no. Okay. It's like talking to our computer friend, but
Slightly different.
an alien.
Slightly different. Slightly different.
Slightly
You'll see.
different.
You'll see. Wink.
Cool. If you'll follow us, we can go to a more suitable meeting room.
I require assistance in navigation. It's just
Very well.
in the tank.
Gestures Dalem.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
Okay. So, are you going to pick it up, or do you want to get
Or do you
like,
just
or
nod?
do you want to get like an anti-grav sled?
Probably get an anti-grav sled.
Or do we get gloves or
Divide.
something?
Okay. So you get
Hmm.
an anti-grav sled. It takes you a moment. Come back with it.
Yep.
Where are they actually stored? Is that ever
it-
stated?
In the broom closet, of course.
Oh.
Where else?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Oh no, sorry. They're stored backstage. Sorry.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah,
green
in
room.
the in the ship's theater, of course, backstage. No, that's literally where they store them.
Of course.
So, arriving back with a anti-grav sled, you move over to try to lift it. The transporter operator is coming to help you. But Westaker stops you and says, "One moment. Representative, would you consent to a scan before we touch your casing?" Yes. This is acceptable. So, does a scan.
Okay.
So, do you want to buy dice? This isn't Joseph Westaker's highest strong suit. Not that bad, but isn't the highest.
Do we need successes, or is it like
It's a
difficulty,
9.
or-
It's a 9. It's a difficulty 0, but the more successes you get, the more bits I might tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I'd vote 1.
Sure.
Yeah, one will be fine.
Okay. Great.
Wow.
Good thing we bought that extra die. Huh. Well,
Wow.
Yes. So, by the way, for Twitch or YouTube viewers who aren't familiar, those 3 zeros, each number is a separate dice, and the number itself represents how many successes that die scored. So 3 dice, each of which scored 0 successes.
yes. Indeed.
Okay. Wouldn't it be funny if everybody spoke up now and said, "Wait, that's not how the system works"?
No, we definitely roll betrayal dice, and you get a blank or a 1 or a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how it works.
Okay. Right, so it scans with this tripod, the big black box he's got with a strap over his shoulder, and the little handheld device that connects with it. Moves it up and down. You can hear the sound of it. Puts it back, steps back and says, "All good, Captain."
Gets
yep.
a nod.
Mm-hmm. And so you two, so the supporting character, the transport operator, pick it up, and as it begins to move, the light increases in intensity slightly.
Ooh.
Moves it over onto the anti-grav sled. Light goes back to its normal luminosity. Oh well, the luminosity it had before.
Okay.
And so, Red Shirt, do you want to pull it? The grav sled, the
Yeah.
anti-grav sled. You want to pull it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is Ken Dalem. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm going to need you to roll for the comfort of your passenger.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a control task. Plus, I would say probably con, actually.
Oh yeah, piloting the anti-grav sled.
Well, pulling it. So the difficulty of this is 1, and the complication range so because of how this works, I'm going to set the complication range to 2 and then spend 1 point of threat to increase it to 3.
Hooray!
Right.
Hey.
Already spending
Oh,
threat.
this is gonna
Of course.
be fun. But yes.
The sooner I spend threat in the diplomatic proceedings, the more consequences it will have.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah. Right. Are we spending any dice?
I think you can take one.
If you
You
want,
want it?
sure.
Yeah, I'll take one. Why
Yeah.
not?
Okay?
Alright.
Let's see how this goes.
Wow.
Well,
Great.
lovely.
Oh.
Okay, so we've generated 2 momentum, so we're back at 4. So we've successfully rebuilt the situation that we were in at the beginning of the stream, momentum-wise, actually. I mean,
Right. So how much is that?
4 momentum in total.
Oh, right.
Right. Well, except that I lost a thread. Okay, so as it gets navigated, it's a very smooth ride. Where do you want it, Captain? Main engineering.
No.
Ooh.
Just
Main deflector control.
I knew you were going to say that.
no.
The bridge.
Just a meeting room. Just a meeting room.
Conference room 16.
You've
How
got
about that?
16.
I don't know
You
how many
actually
we
have
have.
16.
How many do we have?
At least 4.
Okay.
Pick a number. Which one?
3.
3. Okay. So, off towards conference room 3, as Candalum navigates this and everybody's coming along, you can see officers as well as crewmen who are just doing the normal business, walking by, kind of being almost startled for a moment, the eyes locked as you walk by, and it is quite obvious that most of these people have never seen anything like this. It's obvious that these are the crew of the Enterprise, is basically what I'm saying.
Oh, right.
You get to conference room 3. It's one of those with this table with the 3-sided monitors on it. You change the Dodrebur sled to increase it, so it's the height of the little below of the table, so that it's basically on eye level with the rest of you if you sit down. And yes, everybody's here. So Westacre is calling a security detachment to stand guard outside the door. Haven't seen anything like this. Doesn't the crew watch Star Trek when they're off duty? Hello, Willis 1961.
Yes.
Welcome. The talks are about to begin.
I welcomed you in earlier.
So,
Yes.
everybody's there. Westacre's standing there with his hands behind his back.
Right.
So, yes.
Okay.
Well, as you are the one who requested this audition, perhaps you could tell us how you would like to begin.
Are there any rituals that are traditional for your peoples at the beginning of talks?
Unless it is I can talk. Unless it is a situation where refreshments are provided, not particularly. As long as everyone has been introduced. I am Captain Shiun, as I've indicated before. Gestures to the rest.
Yeah, so is it clockwise or alphabetical?
Top to bottom. It's always top to bottom.
Okay. I am Doviah Twossock. Communications officer on the USS Pathos. This is Joseph Westaker.
He just gives the little nod.
Okay.
What about the supporting character?
And that's Ken
Well-
Dalen.
Okay,
Security officer.
Okay.
good. Hello, Mr. Snipes. Welcome.
Hello.
You join us for
Hello.
diplomatic talks,
Greetings.
which is very rare for my games.
Yeah, definitely never happens.
Ever
And I'm
before.
definitely never involved in them.
Yes. I mean, you can
Well,
just imagine. You can just imagine how the
yeah.
group. You can just imagine how the group got on with them before you joined. Okay.
I would assume they didn't have them.
Well, actually, we did. We did.
Yeah, it's called dinner.
Anyway,
Right. Dinner.
so I mean the other game, of course. So now that those introductions have been done, he says, I do not have designation like you. I am representative of the Bathshal. Requirements of refreshments are not needed.
Very well then.
The situation is interesting. You were following our vessel because of our attack, correct?
Correct.
You are affiliated with Argelius II, correct?
Yes. In so much as they requested assistance from the Federation.
Our attack was an attempt of remedying piracy. Our... thinks for a moment. Our objects of cultural value were taken. Does the
Taking notes.
yeah?
Taking notes.
Does the of course take your time, of course. Does the communications
Taken by
officer?
whom?
Okay. Taken by traders, collectors. They were present on the freighter and then the outpost.
Why am I having
I
trouble
see.
finding this?
Because I secretly edited your notes.
Oh no. How did you get into my computer?
I rolled really, really well. You're a nice blue for me too, Mr. Snipes. I don't trust anything that doesn't like refreshments. Mm-hmm.
Our records only indicate that the freighter was carrying goods from the First Federation, and no other items were given a designation.
Then our intelligence reports are superior to yours. Yeah. Just, it says that. Awkward pause. And then the comms officer says,
So, checking notes one more time.
Mm-hmm.
You said that these pirates were present on the freighter.
The pirated items were present on the freighter. The pirates themselves were not.
And when and by whom were these items taken?
Units of temporal measurement unknown. Identity of pirates also unknown.
Then how did you become aware of these items being on the freighter?
The automated vessel passed through Bathchal space. Our relays scanned it.
And were you aware that the items had been taken prior to that point?
Yes. It is difficult to not be aware when priceless artifacts are stolen from the gallery.
And you do not know when the freighter picked up these artifacts.
It's a pause that says, the Bathshal do not know this.
Alright.
Ah, well, that's good to know, Din.
Of course.
Westaker?
Westaker is standing there, he was listening. And he says, Captain?
Fetch our chief inspector. I believe they may have more to contribute to this situation.
Aye, Captain. And he walks away. Moment's pause. Eventually comes in with the chief inspector. The assistant isn't there. Chief inspector comes in and he sits down and he says, Captain, you wanted me? What is this?
It has been reported by the Bashal representative that some of the goods aboard the automated freighter were stolen from a location noted as the gallery.
If they were after their stolen goods, then they could have opened communications with the station and tried getting them back that way. They didn't do that. They didn't even try communicating with the freighter. They just opened fire. At least according to our sensor logs.
It may be that they did not attempt to communicate with the freighter because they knew from their scan there was no crew aboard. Is that correct?
The Bathshal representative is quiet for a moment and says, "That is acceptable."
Was there another reason for not opening communication?
There is quite a long pause, and he says, "The likelihood of recovering our items was slim. Destruction of them would have been preferable to letting them remain in the hands of..." Thinks for a moment. "Whoever owned that vessel."
You said these were items of cultural significance.
Correct.
Why, then, is it better for them to be destroyed than to make more attempts at recovering them?
It is a cultural matter. You would not understand. What does the communications officer have to say about this? If anything.
We can still try. I mean, if we don't understand, then so be it. But you can at least try to perhaps explain it to us. I mean, perhaps we could understand it. Perhaps we could comprehend what you mean.
It says, "To comprehend our reasoning, you must have witnessed elements of the gallery. Without this point of reference, it is impossible."
Could you perhaps tell us some more bits of information about the gallery? Perhaps we could understand then, or see what you mean then.
It is difficult to describe. There's a moment's pause. He's about to speak up about it, and then the chief inspector interrupts and says, "This is all well and good, but as far as I'm concerned, we have our assailant. The rest of this can be handled at Argelis too." A six-legged cat. Is it a thing from the animated series? By any chance? Anyway, right.
With all due respect, Chief Inspector, if this is a matter concerning stolen goods from another part of space, then this is a greater matter than just your planet's security.
Oh, yes, of course. However, the damage that was dealt to our station, our equipment, and the danger that civilians were put in has to come first for us. Of course, this matter will hopefully be dealt with as well. However, in this matter, I must put Argelius to first. I'm sure if it were Vulcan, you would do the same.
I would not.
Interesting.
I am a captain first.
And is it not your duty as captain to enforce the laws under which you are operating?
Correct.
Very well.
And that includes identifying possible collusion with pirates.
I'm not going to win this, am I?
No.
Very well. Just please, Captain, promise me one thing. Don't let them get away.
This should not be an issue.
Okay. Sure, sorry. For some reason that was just so funny.
Cut now.
There's no comms call, he's in the room with you.
Of course.
He
Yeah.
he
Sure.
he nods, straightens his jacket a little, says, very well, Captain, comms officer, security representative, if you will excuse me, I have some things to discuss with my assistant.
Of course.
And he gets up and leaves the room.
Right. I turn back to the representative. I say, yes, you were saying about the gallery.
The gallery is
and
a
while-
spiritual place,
that
a
goes on,
place where objects of great value are stored, value of historical significance, value of emotional significance, value of societal significance, value of cultural significance. The gallery is split between our homeworld and vessels of our construction.
Right. Yes, Captain?
While this was happening, the captain would have sent a message to the bridge to monitor outgoing communications
Mm-hmm.
in case the inspector tries to do something weird.
Like, what do you mean?
On it. Alright, Cap. I'm assuming Nero is in charge of the bridge
Mm-hmm.
while Captain's gone, so he gets Ensign, whoever's on the to keep an eye on that one.
Okay. So,
And go back reading the book.
okay. So, if this is a thing, it will be an opposed roll. So, let's make that roll. So, how many dice do you want the crewman to buy? He's not an officer, he's just a crewman.
Say at least, what would say one, if
One?
at least.
Okay. Is everybody good with that?
Sure.
Okay, we are down to 2. The ship will assist. That's interesting. Those are all failures, so the ship will not assist.
Wow.
He's just a
God
crewman. He's not
damn
an
it.
officer. He's just a crewman.
Okay.
We're-
Right.
Are we just gonna alternate all failures, all success, all failures, all
No,
success.
no, no. Let's just not have the DM rolling.
Sure. Okay.
I want that. Oh, sorry.
Right. So, no, I would disagree with that, Din. I think that feels pretty good, at least from where I'm sitting. So, as he, so he just finished talking, explaining about the gallery.
Yes.
Yeah, and how it's on their home planet, and that's interesting advice, Willis. There, yes. So yeah, that is on the home planet, and also split onto their vessels as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Of course.
Right.
That was okay.
Hmm?
No, I just pasted in my notes. I pasted a word in from the Memory Alpha wiki page, and it kept the formatting, so just pasted it in a big black or yellow on black text, big font. It's interesting. Anyway.
Right.
And what was the nature of the piracy incident?
The artifacts were taken without consent.
By one of your own or by a foreign party?
A foreign party is assumed.
Would it have been difficult to acquire access to that part of the gallery?
Thinks for a moment. Says, I do not have this required information for you. And then a moment's pause, and then says, your vessel is very interesting. Its systems are most advanced. Is there a possibility of a treaty between the Bastral and the Federation?
That would have to be taken to a higher authority, and the attack on the planet would have to be addressed as well.
How much power does your ship have in the decision-making process?
I don't know. Probably not a lot.
Is that your response? I don't know, probably not a lot.
No. They're like several ranks above mine, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So not a lot.
It was... No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Our assessment of the situation is valued by the higher authorities. However, we would not be directly involved.
Why do you evade my question?
I made no evasion.
My question was how much input the ship has in your decision-making process. You did not answer this question.
I am uncertain the information you're seeking.
Your ship, the USS Pathos, does it contribute to your decision-making process? If so, to what extent?
You refer to the ship's systems independently of the crew.
Yes.
Our ship is not independently intelligent.
Conflicting information. There's a long pause, and the light is kind of pulsating a little bit more than usual. After quite a few moments, it speaks up again and says, if this is correct, then the ship did not greet my arrival.
This is a very strange situation.
Kango, you missed Commodore.
Alright.
Yeah, that one's kind of important. We had an issue with that recently.
Mm-hmm. At this point, Joseph Westacre speaks up. He says, as much as the chief engineer likes to think otherwise, our ship is not alive. While you can speak with the computer, and it can speak with you, it's just automated responses. There is no life there. The representative says, information corrected. The Bathshal do not wish to make an enemy of the Federation or its allies.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
So they failed to destroy the vessel. They attacked the planet, but had to flee. So all the goods on the freighter are on Argelius 2.
Presumably,
unless they
yes.
have been moved
Or on
in
the
the
station.
last weeks.
Or on the station.
Or on the station.
Mm-hmm.
Could you describe the appearance of perhaps an example item?
It is difficult to describe without point of reference.
What were the functions of them?
They had cultural as well as emotional value. They are what I believe you would call art. Specifically modern art, but no.
I mean, at this point, we're probably well beyond modern art.
Maybe there was like a regression or something.
Well beyond postmodern and, whatever movement comes beyond that.
Futuristic art.
I'm sure art has gone round in circles a few times.
Of course.
Most likely.
We will make an effort to identify the exact sources of the items you are acquiring and to trace where they have gone to. If both of them match the story you have told, we will return as many as we can. However, the planet that you assaulted is not part of the Federation, strictly speaking, and has its own autonomy in pursuing justice.
I cannot make agreements on behalf of our ship's leader. This must be done directly.
And how would we get in contact with your leader?
For the agreement to be valid, you would have to send a representative to our vessel. Our leader is in union with our ship. It is impossible for him to leave.
Okay. Goodness.
Yes?
Huh.
Perhaps it would be wise to get the Chief Inspector back in here. And so it borgins. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. In fact, that is how the Borg got started, because of course it is a 3 by 3 by 3 meter canvas, so it's actually a cube. And so, of course.
Yes.
So, strictly speaking, yes, the inspector should be a part of this negotiation, because the negotiation is not only with the Federation, it is also with Argelius too.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, ...
At the same time, he's a problem.
No. When has the delegation that the ship has to take on ever been a problem in the original series?
Never, surely.
Correct. And don't call me Shirley. Uh-huh. Yes, Mr. Snipes? Yes.
Yeah.
So, if we accept that this is all in good faith, then
I can hear all of I in your voice. I can hear all of those voices saying, "This is a huge mistake. We shouldn't be doing this. Of course, it's a mistake." And yet, your voice says something different.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm awash with different voices in my head right now.
Mm-hmm. And you're not even the GM.
No.
It was a constant problem in TOS until they got to the Mirror Universe. Then everything became peaceful.
Well.
We are currently outside of how easily can we communicate with Starfleet Command or any other representative of Starfleet from here?
It's difficult to get in touch with anyone higher ranking than you. There are a couple of ships in the area, so you could confer with other captains if you wanted to, but to get in touch with a Commodore or an Admiral, because we would really have to get to either the Admiral or the civilian core of the Federation, which you're pretty far out there, and your course has constantly been taking you further and further space north. Lots of planets have a north. So you could get in touch, but there would be a delay, and then you get a message back, and so on.
And about how much of a delay could we expect in, like, between when the message is sent and when the message is received?
At this point, probably like something like 6 hours. Hello, Robin, the cowardly merchant.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yes.
Guess what? We're in diplomatic talks.
Yeah.
Once again.
And the NPC, who's technically in charge of this thing, left because all they were talking about was art.
Good recap, Dan. More Vulcan death grip, less talk. Interesting idea. Interesting
No.
proposition.
I mean, if you had the mind meld talent, you could try to mind meld with this energy being, if you wanted
That
to.
would be interesting, but I don't have it.
So you've either got the nerve pinch or the mind meld, right?
There's another one. There's a culinar.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. While we could send a representative of our ship, we are not in a position to make any sort of promises at this point, as we cannot directly communicate with our Admiralty. We'll go with Admiralty.
Mm-hmm.
We may wish to move these negotiations.
It would be acceptable to move them to our ship. Your representative would be welcomed. Joseph Westacre is raising his eyebrow.
Invite them for dinner. Yes.
Yeah, wrong ship.
Well, in TOS era they did have dinner as well. And they've got dinner now.
What he's thinking is the wrong
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
wrong thing altogether, and there won't be any more
perhaps.
dinners in that campaign.
Are you sure about that, Rogue?
Yes.
I'm not. But who knows?
Anyway. So, I guess it's time to call the inspector in, unless you have different plans.
Yeah. So, in this situation, what would be considered an appropriate representative, given the unknown risks?
Well, normally it would be probably the first officer if there is no diplomat, if there aren't any diplomats on board. But since this is TOS, it would probably be Kirk and the first officer, and for some reason the ship's surgeon. However, this ship is slightly more sensible, I think, and so it would probably be the first officer. However, considering that the first officer is the chief of security, that would probably not be such a good idea. If there is a fight, then you're probably going to need him here. Yes, they have to select one or the other. Well, actually, I'm not sure. You might be able to select. Can you select
You
from
can
the species
select
list?
multiple.
Yeah.
But everyone you select means you can't take other kinds of talent.
Yes, a different talent. Yes.
Yeah.
So it would.
So I chose to only take one Vulcan-specific one and 3 more general talents related to command, mostly.
So, in this scenario, it would probably be It would probably be third in command, actually.
Who's our third in command?
Guess who's got the bridge at the moment?
Oh, crap.
Oh, right.
Oh, God, no. Wow.
At this point, the representative says, "We shall make preparations for your representatives. Preparations are underway."
What?
He says that.
They presumably have some sort of telepathic communication.
No,
Or at least long-range communication that does not require an external device.
it was a bit of both,
Or
right?
there's a device in the container that currently holds the representative, which allows them
Yes.
to communicate.
They don't need external device to communicate. Yes.
I can talk.
I believe you.
Of course.
I could talk too, but it's something for me to say.
Well, that can change very soon. Not to threaten you or anything. Okay.
Okay.
Would these preparations allow for an accompaniment for the representatives of Argelius II and the ship?
Yes. You would be allowed to send accompaniments. Yes. You're absolutely right, Mr. Snipes. You're absolutely right. Although the love interest part with Kirk, if you actually watch the episodes, it's either someone from his past who he has had a serious relationship with that for some reason failed, or he's trying to use it as a tactical weapon to get on someone's good side, to either try to get information or to try to get some sort of advantage. So it's, yeah. Anyway, of course he would have ripped his shirt, of course. But since in this case our captain is a woman, that would not have been that appropriate in 1960s television. Probably. So,
Probably.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Definitely.
So the problem is,
You don't want to lose the major NPC contact. Right? I'm
no.
just guessing.
How good is Nero with negotiations, politics, and stuff?
That's a question for you, Rogue.
Yeah. Probably read a few books, but that's about it.
Although his command is 3.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his insight is 10.
And came from the command track, so it would be presumed that he would learn some of it.
Yes.
And a big book nerd, so art
Mhm.
history and stuff.
All right.
Also a cocky ass pilot, so, you know, bit of a fun mixture.
So Willis, they do not have a humanoid-friendly atmosphere, but they are making preparations. So
Yes.
we'd have to transition to the bridge to figure out if maybe scans can show something.
Yeah. So we would be sending Nero and the inspector and maybe a couple security. The inspector might bring their assistant. Maybe. I don't know how he does his thing.
Who knows at this point, honestly.
But is that procedurally sound?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
If it sounds good or bad, who knows? But it does sound.
Thanks.
No. Okay.
So yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
what we're doing. And for the sake of
For the sake of brevity, you mean? Oh, the infamous tracker, congratulations
just
on that.
like-
Great to hear.
I was just like, oh, for the sake of convenience, we could just continue using Ken Dalem for security. Then I was like, well, someone different would have to control it.
Yes. But
Yeah.
that would still be convenient.
Yeah.
I mean, we could take along, I don't know, maybe a science officer as well, along with our security guy, and maybe a doctor. That could work. I might know some
Nice.
guys who could fill that role.
Damn it.
So, what do you want to do?
I guess. Yeah. Prep to send some people over.
Okay. Might be worth asking the inspector if he wants to go over.
Yeah.
Good idea there.
Contact the inspector. Bring him
Okay.
back here.
Right?
Yes, back here,
a minute,
Mr.
a
Sarge.
minute later, he comes walking in, says, "Hello, welcome. Yes, have you reached any sort of agreement? Can we proceed back to Argelius
Further-
2?
Further negotiations will require contact with their ship's leader on their ship. So our intention is to send you as a representative of Argelius 2, as well as one of our crew as a representative of the ship and consequently the Federation, as well as some security accompaniment.
Very well. Very well. I will have to speak with my assistant before that. However, I do agree to this. Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to say, do, or otherwise act before we skip ahead?
No. I think I'll
No.
probably head back to the bridge.
No. Once the team's assembled, which I guess we still need to firmly establish who's on it, the captain would send a quick report to the Admiralty
Mm-hmm.
and see what they think of all this.
Yep, they'll let you know in approximately 12 hours.
Yep.
Great. So, I'm gonna screw this up.
So Inspector, Nero, Ken, who will be played by one of us,
Mm-hmm.
would sending the comms officer be reasonable as well?
Yes. If the comms officer has anything to add to the situation.
Does the comms officer have anything to add to the situation?
I mean, sending over, it could be. I mean, I don't know yet, but Could be that I could be of assistance when we're there.
Sure.
Sure.
Sure. Off she goes.
Sure.
Because yes, Doviah is a she. We have established this
Many streams ago.
last session.
Not quite.
Okay, so everybody's gathered on transporter pad 2.
Do I have to go?
Yes. So, are you going to send the representative of the Bathshal back as well? Or do you want to keep him as a hostage?
I think we would invite them to stay here until negotiations are finished, if that is acceptable.
Well, he responds that the life support in his container has only got very little time left, and he has to return back to his ship's atmosphere.
Alright. Then he shall be returned.
Okay. So, are you all ready for a little adventure?
I don't want to go.
Let me pull up Ken Dalem's character sheet.
Mm-hmm. It might okay, Yosef gets out his awaiting checklist. He asks, Captain, right, let's see. Is there anything hazardous in their atmosphere where you're going to?
Ammonia.
We assume so.
Are you... He goes over to the comms interface and he presses the button and says, this is Westaker to the bridge. Could you run a scan on the beam 2 coordinates to let us know about the conditions there, if there's anything dangerous there? Bridge accepts. So, do you want to buy dice for this? We've got 1 momentum.
Sure.
The ship will assist.
Yeah. I don't think anything else is going to happen in this scene
Probably not.
specifically. So
Yeah.
go ahead and spend it.
Sure.
Okay.
Neo basically just goes, Cat, can't we send Westaker instead? I don't want to go.
You are better suited to the task, while the first officer is better suited to what is needed here.
Okay.
Okay.
Kango, would you like to roll for the ship?
Sure. Just get the sheet up. Wait, what roll is it?
Dice roll, please.
Okay.
No, it is going to be sensors plus science.
Mm-hmm. Focus use, of course. Okay. 1.
Good.
Success.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. It was a difficulty 0. So, well done, you're at 5 momentum.
Great to hear.
Yay! Built up some good momentum for the next scene.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
after a moment, Bridge reports back to the transporter room. They report back that the large empty spaces that had been previously noted in the Bathshal vessel, that they are filled with an oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere, the composition of which is identical to that of the Pathos. And the beam over coordinates are within this space.
Right.
Alright.
Right? So, do you want to hop over? I need to know what equipment you're taking, please.
Well, for hopping over, we need an AD suit.
And big springs.
Yeah.
So, what equipment? Let's go through them. So, Nero. So, Rogue,
Yeah.
what equipment's Nero taking? It would be.
Does he know
Hmm?
with Starfleet protocol?
You would probably.
Would
So, according to
you
protocol, you
know what he
would.
needs?
The standard equipment would be, of course, a communicator,
Yeah.
your tricorder, as well
Yeah.
as, since this is a potentially hostile situation, it would be acceptable to take like a Type 1 phaser.
Okay. Then he does what is to follow the protocols of what he's going to take over. And there is no information there's no information on this race, right?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, so this does whatever standard equipment.
Mm-hmm. So, who are the others that are
The
going?
protocols.
So Doviah's going,
Yes.
as well as who's the third?
Ken.
Ken. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I wonder who's going to be playing Ken Dalem.
There are so many options.
Uh-huh.
W's gonna do it, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
We'll just have to tag him.
Like,
Yeah, tag it with loads.
Mr. W, quick, you are needed. Quick, please, hop on, please, please. Okay,
Inflate bags
so-
they go already.
So, you step onto the transporter pad. The wizardry that is the transporter springs into action as you dematerialize. And of course, the chief inspector's there as well, of course. It would be ludicrous if he wasn't. And as you rematerialize, you are standing in a spherical room. The room is approximately 5 meters in diameter. Some of you fall down slightly. You've got to kind of catch yourself because you beamed off of a flat surface and kind of beamed onto the base of a sphere inside.
Oh, right.
The lighting is very yellowy orange lighting, and it appears that there's quite a lot of moisture on the walls of this room. The walls look metallic, almost like bronze, or perhaps brass. It depends if you want to take tin or aluminium with your copper. That's fine. No, Willis, no, definitely not.
Well, go have a bang.
Okay. So,
Right.
how to serve humans? Well, preferably with kindness, and if you want a tip, you're gonna also need to be in uniform. So, as you wait around for a moment, a panel on the outside opens. It's a window, basically. Opens up. On the other side, you can see the same misty, orange, yellowy, thick, foggy atmosphere. And you can see 2 of those lights around there just floating in the air outside.
Mm-hmm. Also, does it smell of anything in here or not? Is it completely scentless?
No, there's no discernible odor. compared to the Pathos. Except for, of course, arsenic, but no.
Okay, sure.
So,
Arsenic gas.
yes.
Yay.
So, Nero,
Yeah.
the two lights on the other side of the window.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll... Probably intro... was it Probably intro... Probably... Does it look like a computer screen, or is it...
It is a window. There was a there was a screen. Okay.
I'll introduce myself as Lieutenant Neo Jeffrey of the Is that it? Hold on. Introduce myself as Pale, right? Sorry. Introduce myself as and
Okay.
come here to talk to introduce myself, Neo, as Lieutenant Neo Jeffrey. Do I do my rank is on the rank?
You would probably it's probably your rank, your name,
yeah,
your position, and who you're representing.
Yeah. So, Lieutenant Neo Jeffrey, the Pathos, and already.
You can. It's fine.
Position.
Yes.
Position, yeah. Flight controller and or pilot of the Pathos and presenting. Fuck! Oh, look at this.
You're representing the United Federation of Planets.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw there.
Okay.
And we're here to talk to whoever the character said we were here to talk to.
Okay. The lights there respond. It says, "You are welcomed aboard our vessel. Please excuse the state of it. There has been damage which has not yet been repaired." You look around, you can't see any damage anywhere.
It was pretty good to me.
It has been brought to our attention that there is a ritual of offering refreshments before talks. Do you require this?
I'm good. You guys alright?
Sounds alright, yes. Though thank you for the offer.
No, I think we are pretty good, thanks.
I don't know how to play Candelum, so.
Well, he has not that. I didn't have that much characterization yet, so
We haven't established much of a personality for him yet.
yeah.
No.
But would you get an upgrade now?
Yes.
You
You
will
can add
get-
a value if you want. You can add a value.
Oh, I can't add a value.
No, that bike is basically just a. Oh yeah, because I made him, didn't I? Did you forget I was the one that made him? Oh yeah, I did make him.
Beams some Andorian ale into the corner of the room.
What corner? It's a sphere, isn't it?
Mhm. Well, Mr. Snipe says never say no to refreshments. And Robin says the answer to that is always yes. So,
Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't.
Well, if people want refreshments, they can have refreshments. I'm not going to say they can't.
Well, I'll think about what to give Candalum, but for now, I guess you're just like, no, thank you. We'll give him personality later.
Okay.
Maybe.
No, thank you. We'll give him a personality later.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Oh no, it was Trials and Tribulations, right? The episode, not Trials and Tribulations. Sorry. Anyway, the DS9 episode. Sorry, getting distracted by chat. Anyway. Yeah. So you turn down the aliens' refreshments, and you're the Federation. Okay. Right. Not very good dinner guests. Anyway. Doviah says, very well. Please continue through the doorway to meet with our leader.
It is good in there, right? We can still...
The doors open. The doors begin to open.
Ah!
And there is a cylindrical corridor, the same brassy, bronzy metal, carries along straight. There are windows on the side, and evidently there's a cylinder of similar design paralleling it, which is filled with the other type of atmosphere, that the lights are so they can accompany you on the side. Do you all go? Does anyone want to do anything before you go, or while you're going?
We do have... Do we have tricorders with us?
Yes.
Would I have one as well?
Probably.
Okay. I don't know. Now let's continue. I'll just walk into the doorway.
The doorway, yes.
Yes.
So you going, Nero?
Yeah, I'll go, yeah. He's just a little bit distracted with the interior.
Okay. So, now that Rogue has caused a riot in my chat, thank you. You're increasing the number of chat messages. No, genuinely, thank you.
Well, I do dread the chaos.
So, you
uploading
continue
things.
along. The lights accompany you, gently floating through the misty atmosphere on the other side of the windows. You follow through the corridor, another spherical room branching off to the side. You're led through this space until eventually you come to a bigger spherical room. There's a little... You're coming in at the side of the sphere, so there's a straight drop which kind of turns into a more angled drop as it curves down towards the base of the sphere.
That's how I
You
imagine.
probably don't want to go all the way down there, because if you go in there you're going to slide down. You couldn't really climb back up. The metal's too smooth. However, in the center of this room you can see these what look like big either antennae or maybe like similar to Tesla coils, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom, facing towards the center of the sphere. And you can see some hand-drawn electrical arcs as they're going towards the center. In that center point, you can see that there is a very, very bright light. This is probably the physical representation of their leader, although it's a bit cloudy as to what's actually going on with the situation. And again, there are windows on the side of the sphere as well, where there are about a dozen, well, about half a dozen of these lights around and moving from window to window behind them. So, you hear a voice saying, "You have reached the chamber of audience with our leader. Make your address."
Again, let's say
The thing, you say the spiel as
Yeah.
it goes.
the usual protocol.
Right.
The lieutenant.
Mhm.
That's it.
So does everyone do
Then,
that?
yeah.
Probably. It's up to you.
Sure. I also introduce myself. I am Doviah Twossock, Communications Officer of the USS Pathos. It is very pleasing to make your acquaintance.
There's a response. And the response, it sounds like it's coming from all over the spherical room, bouncing off the walls, and not quite sure any one place where it's coming from. Where it says, "It is agreeable that we have met. You are representing the Federation." And then the Chief Inspector speaks up and says, "Yes, and I am, as I have just said, representing Argalius II. On behalf of the matter of the attack on our station, what do you have to say for this?" And the voice responds, "My representative has already spoken. We are willing to accompany you to Argalius II for your justice system. We are in the hope that you will aid us in our quest, and that the Federation will do the same."
Well, yeah, we do want a peaceful outcome if we can. Yeah, we could have a peaceful outcome if possible.
That is appreciated. As a symbol of our faith, we would show you our fraction of the gallery. Do you accept this? I can hear Dodd making notes in the background. No, I can't. It's just I can
Always.
Telepathically hear it. Yes, I
yeah.
have a strong
He
telepathy.
thinks about it, and probably it's like he's a bit torn bit because he's first for knowledge and stuff and what's it to the responsibility.
I liked Voyager as well. It had problems, of course, but I liked it.
Okay. Why not?
That wasn't in character, by the way.
If that was in character.
So,
Yeah.
what do your values say, Rogue? Can your values perhaps inform your decision about this?
Those starship recognition, astro navigations, and other values. So there's yeah, do it.
Do it? Okay.
Ride or die. Laura at the moment, why not? Just have a book stashed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you accept this,
Yes.
it looks like the chief inspector was about to speak up to politely decline this, but upon hearing your acceptance of it, he's going along with it as well. The lights come around, and another door opens up on the side. Actually, sorry, I'm trying to visualize. No, it would be at the bottom of the sphere. So there's a door opens up and to another cylindrical corridor at the bottom of the sphere. You'd have to slide down to get in there.
Why not? Let's do it.
This time there isn't even molten gold chasing you.
Oh yeah, I thought I did that. Two characters as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So basically, whee! As you slide down the stairs.
Tumble for.
It isn't very easy to slide down because of all the condensation on it, but you do manage it.
But is it still manageable to slide on his feet and hand go down just like...
Yes.
Yeah, it does that basically. Both feet just slides down with the hand guiding like direction.
Yes, the chief inspector is
Just
significant.
because-
Yes, the chief inspector is significantly more clumsy at it. So as you get to that point, just as you look down into that cylindrical corridor, you can feel the artificial gravity shifting as what was the wall of that corridor becomes the floor, and you can just step over that edge and walk along the corridor.
I'm gonna do that again at some point. That was fun.
The chief inspector kind of straightens his jacket a bit.
Gotta line up. That's like a jacket. Make sure it's
So,
up. There you go.
You
Gotta line up,
you continue walking for another sizable while until you get to quite a large spherical space. This is perhaps maybe around 50 or 60 meters in diameter. And in this space, you can see beams of light shining in, refracting off the sides, floating in midair. You can see different crystals that are in synchronized motions, rotating and turning, reflecting the light off of each other onto these different surfaces, creating a spectrum of colors on the wall of the sphere. A voice says, "Artificial gravity is inoperational within this space."
Yep.
So it's a matter of just jumping into the air if you want to do it.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. Jump
Good.
into the air, into the space, and your stomach drops. It's the same feeling as if in your roller coaster and you get that moment of 0G, only it doesn't go away because you remain in 0G. You're used to this because of course your training and your exercises in 0G environments and things, but it is still an interesting sensation. As you make your way around this space, I'm going to need each of you to please give me a command plus presence check.
Okay. Well, this is gonna be fun.
Yes. By the way, the difficulty of this is 1. Complication range 1.
Cool.
Okay.
And for once we actually have
I'm
the
not the ideal
supporting.
one.
And for once we actually have the supporting character sheet in Roll20 as well, because I put it in.
Yeah.
Almost as if I'm
Right.
putting effort into the game I live stream. No, that is silly. Okay, 1 success. 1 success.
That's-
One more. Come on, one more.
1 more!
Okay.
Yay.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Hooray.
Now it's just time for 1 more.
Please screw it up. Please screw it up. That would be funny.
No,
Ah, God damn it.
actually got 2.
Yes, very funny, very funny.
Well,
Ha, ha.
it would just be funny.
I'm actually gonna count that towards momentum. Dun, 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 dun.
We want someone to fail, they don't.
I know the feeling. Okay. So, as you intersect these reflected and refracting beams of light, intense feelings of emotion wash over you. Almost as if most of it feels like nostalgia. It's a really intense feeling of nostalgia. There's a little bit of sadness in it as well, but also hope. It appears that the different parts of the spectrum of light correspond to different emotions as you pass through them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the good old days. And of course this is filmed with the actors suspended by wires in front of a blue screen, but that's beside the point. And just fancy lights shining on them with projectors, but right.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
So you hear a voice saying, "Welcome to our fraction of the gallery. It is the fraction known as the heart, or your equivalents of the translation.
Interesting.
As you're moving through the spectrum, the emotions are all quite intense. However, as there is this one specific range that is more intense than the others. And that is the feeling of unbridled, brutal devotion. The feeling of satisfaction coupled with determination. In this spectrum, there is no remnant of anything else. no kindness, no respect, no love, no anger, no hate, nothing else. Purely this. And it is so much stronger than anything else that you have felt in this experience. Well, it's a combination I used. So like Steve.
Yeah.
Maybe like Steve. What do you mean? Is it also made of aluminium? What do you mean? You mean the walls of this chamber? No, it's not aluminium. It looks like brass or bronze, maybe a mixture of them both. So, yeah. Well, aluminium is a fun word. Aluminum isn't as fun, to say at least.
No, it's not.
Aluminium.
But we use it anyway.
True.
Aluminum.
Aluminium. Tritanium. Tritanium is also very interesting. Neutronium is even more so, since phasers can't penetrate it. Anyway, as this experience carries on, you get to one part where, since you're past the checks, you get to a part where it feels like so throughout this entire experience you've been receiving emotion. You get to a part where that kind of flips, almost like a magnet, the way it used to, the way, imagine the feeling of holding two magnets and them repulsing each other, and then it just suddenly flips and now they're attracting each other. It's that same sort of motion, that same sort of change, as you receiving emotion changes to almost emotion being drawn from you, as though it were emitted and excreted from your pores. It's not a very pleasant feeling, but it's definitely a feeling you've never felt before. And since all of you passed that roll, you all notice it. Otherwise you wouldn't have. This goes on for about a minute, and then you come to the far side of the room where there's another door that opens up to another corridor. Step onto it. And yes.
Right.
The voice asks, have you enjoyed your experience with our fraction?
Yeah, not bad.
Our influence is going.
Oh, right.
Character.
Yes. Out of character, you're going. Okay. Well, we're gonna end soon anyway. I just wanna get the players transported back, and then we're good.
Yes, good night, bye.
Yes, good night. You can see the end and on the archive after it's uploaded.
Indeed.
Or on Twitch if you want to see it before it's uploaded, but I would suggest you do it on YouTube because that's better for the channel as a whole.
Well,
Anyway.
it's fine.
No, it is. Because that way I can grow that it gets representative to more people, which means that overall it's better for what I'm trying to build. That's fine. A little bit over time, yes. We're just going to get to the point where they transport over to back to the Pathos.
Right.
Yes.
Lucy was asking that. Gotta say, it was an extraordinary experience. I've never experienced anything like this before.
Okay, so right. The voice then asks, do you require refreshments?
No, I'm good, thanks. You guys?
No, thank you for the hospitality, but it is fine.
Does Kendalem want refreshments?
I actually am feeling a bit drained. If that's all right.
Your response is unclear. Do you require refreshments?
Yes, please.
Very well. Our scans indicate your body requires water. And then you're led to a chamber where it looks like there is... It's another zero G chamber, in the center of which is floating this big globule of water, suspended in 0G, pulled into the center of the... Well, not 0G. Well, slight gravity inwards. Very, very slight. And it says... Refresh yourselves. The water has been created for this purpose.
Thank you.
Okay. As you slowly maneuver in, do you take a drink? No, that is the refreshment. Hands out straws.
With what hands, though?
So, do you actually take a drink?
Yes.
You sound very sure of yourself there. Yeah, it tastes fine. It tastes very clean, little sweet, normal for water. No, it's not sparkling. And yes,
Sparkle?
so they ask whether you're ready to return to your ship now. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So they are sending the transport, they're contacting the Pathos, sending the transport request, giving the coordinates, and you dematerialize. Could each and every one of you please give me an engineering plus insight check. Difficulty 3. Complication range 1.
Sure.
Engineering.
2 successes. Yes.
I will point out
What was it called?
that we've got 6 momentum. That's funny.
What complication range?
1, but we've got 6 momentum. If any of you want to buy dice. Oh well, except for Doviah, of course, since she's already rolled before thinking about whether to buy dice
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't ask for dice very often unless reminded to do so.
Yes, I know, I don't ask for dice very often, but I mean, I'm still learning the system.
I'm Lieutenant Junior grade. I wouldn't have thought of it.
I'd like one for Ken.
Yeah, we'll both take one, so that'll be...
Okay, so we're down to 4.
More.
Alright. Let's see.
Can I buy a vowel?
Oh.
Well, at least the one you bought was fine.
Good thing you bought it.
Wow.
2
I
20s.
screwed up a little bit.
Okay.
2 20s
So,
in a row.
Willis, the red 0 you can see there means it's not just that die didn't just roll a failure, it rolled a critical failure. It rolled a complication.
Wow.
The second die also rolled a complication. You got one success, one die that rolled a success, and then down here, rogue, one that just failed, one that's a success, and one that's a critical failure.
Oh.
And-
Damn.
3 complications on the same roll across
Oh.
2 people.
Yeah.
God damn
And I think that we've got our cliffhanger.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh no.
You can't end it here.
Okay, so
Oh no.
I didn't think we'd have one, but thank you, Dodd
Oh,
and Rogue,
no.
for supplying us with one.
And roll 20's dice
Oh,
algorithm
no.
system.
No. I think we can safely give Dodd and Rogue the honor of this particular action.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Willis says, cliffhanger, let them stew all week, wondering what happened.
I've already stewed on the
Hey,
Saturday game for a
my-
week, thanks.
My character is the one that took the refreshments, and I rolled 2 critical failures. So
That's what you get for not leaving refreshed, for not leaving refreshed by refreshments. Yep, exactly. Since that makes sense with your comment as well. Now,
Serves you right.
okay. Well, there we are.
Wow. It was Shiun water, not Vulcan water. But why Vulcan though?
he's not Vulcan.
Yes.
It's not Shiun who went on the show.
Yes, it's the supporting character of Ken Dalem, which
Yes,
is
it's a group pool.
human supporting character
Yes,
played by Dodd.
the supporting characters are group pools, so anyone can play them, no matter who created them.
I guess we could have been a little bit clearer when we
Yeah,
said
but-
who was
but
going
still,
over.
that-
But that's
Yeah.
okay.
Ah, it was
Yeah.
the red shirt water.
Yes, it
Oh
was.
no. Oh no.
Sounded
I'll
strange.
go back without my brain.
Anyway,
He just got a value too.
Ah. Is
well,
the red shirt finally going to die?
we'll see.
Oh man. I've already been stewing for a week already.
4 momentum.
4. 2 were
Unless
spent.
we got one back.
Nope. The difficulty was 3.
Yeah.
So on 4, but if the
Nope.
scene changed, wouldn't it be 3 then?
Yes, but the scene hasn't changed yet. It'll change at the beginning of next session.
Alright.
Oh no.
But will we think of removing the momentum then?
I will.
Okay.
Oh.
So, that was fun. Right?
Yeah.
Feedback. Do people have feedback? Things they liked, maybe didn't like that much, or any feedback?
I'm gonna close Ken Dalem's character sheet because it
Oh,
keeps
sorry.
changing.
Oh, sorry. Here we go.
Yeah, it thinks it.
I had switched it to light mode, but it's fine. I switched
Yeah.
it back.
Oh. We turned the whole thing down.
Alright.
Oh no.
So
Okay.
we'll see what 3 complications and along with 3 failed rolls does for us.
Okay. We'll see. So yes, on Monday we're gonna have a bit of Civ 6. Civ 6 on Monday. And yes, we might have 2 special guests. 3 if you count myself.
Wow. Okay.
So thank you all very much for watching.
Interesting.
This will be archived on YouTube as it always is.
Alright, yeah.
Oh no.
Red
Doesn't
zero
mean
is like red shirt. Yes, basically. 1 red lost an arm. 2 reds lost an arm, a leg in the transporter accident.
And a leg.
And a leg in the transporter
Is that like a
accident.
song? So it's like it's supposed to be
1
sung or something.
red lost an arm, 2 reds lost an arm, and a leg in the transporter accident.
Exactly that.
And
So how
then
many unofficially have we lost of red shirts?
I mean, 0, technically.
Technically, that
Technically,
is
yes.
true. Well,
Mhm.
there were, you don't know if the people who you couldn't save from the Casablanca incident wore red shirts when they dematerialized, so...
Even if they did, they weren't our red shirts, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct. Right, so...
Oh,
Now-
that was brutal.
That was fun, and
That was very fun.
I shall see you next time. Right.
Yes.
So,
Oh god, that's horrifying.
I'm hitting the fast forward button to get to next week, but it's not working. Well, what can I say? Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and bye everybody. Take care,
Yes,
guys.
bye.
Great stream.
Bye.
Great stream. Thank you. I enjoyed the stream myself as well. Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Just gonna wait for a little while.
I can't unsee that.
I'm glad I have that button. I'm glad I have that button.
Okay. Bye.
Bye,
Yes,
yes.
indeed. Bye.